I pressed buttons in the incorrect order, so my bad. This story quest, continuing Final Fantasy XIV, is called Their Greatest Contribution. Normally I have that little thing up over here, and I clicked it. I'm sorry, I was supposed to click record instead of, we all win some, we lose some. But given to us by Emmett Selk, I can't tell you where, but we're on one of the floating islands connected by a stairway. Here we go. Not that I or anyone else would be able to make use of it, even if we knew, but it irks me to discover that there is an entirely different form of energy, and no one told me. That personal annoyance aside, Hermes' knowledge is undeniably impressive. Given that there are none among the 14 who specialize in the celestial, he would be a welcome addition. Assuming he can be persuaded to join, that is. I still can't understand his hesitation. My options are, why did you join the convocation? Or what do you specialize in? What do you specialize in? Oh, Hythlodaeus says, oh, you wish to know why Emmett Selk was chosen for the convocation? I should be glad to share the tale. It began when... Emmett turns to him. Not another word. Lest you've forgotten, we're to learn about Hermes, not me. My misspent youth is not your concern. Speak with Hermes, who's right next to me. Didn't need to mount at all, but it's all good. My apologies for the wait. I have inspected the Ampelos to my satisfaction. All is well within the creature, and I dare say it won't be long ere it is released unto the world. Yeah, thank you for the gooboos, you jerks. Another creation, however, reportedly isn't faring so well. The Charybdis. I know that word. I don't remember why. That is what we shall tend to next. If you would follow me, my friends, we shall return to the main isle and head north. Charybdis. We indeed take the stairs back down. And we're on like the main floating island here. Main circular landmass that does appear to be floating. If you look over the edge, there is certainly a long way down. We're kind of surrounded by, well, I don't know about surrounded, but this portion we got a couple waterfalls that are beautiful, falling from a floating island. Well, floating islands. I think there's one that they all flow from this one, which we're about to kind of go up. Well, we're right underneath a corner of it, an edge of it. The Charybdis, if I'm correct, seem to be like, you know, the Chinese style dragons where they're kind of long, sinewy, just single body like a snake, but they can fly. They don't usually have wings, but these do. So add wings to that, and you have what I'm sure are called Charybdis, but we'll find out. Cutscene. Please talk, please. Dang it. I understand there's a problem with one of the Charybdis. Yes, that's right, says a female overseer. As you know, the Charybdis is based on a sea creature. Owing to adjustments to enhance its affinity to wind, it is capable of flight. The specimens created from the concept could all fly without issue, but a problem arose in subsequent generations. This one is glowing? This third-generation creature was born with an etheric balance leaning strongly towards water, its aquatic origin reasserting itself, it would seem. The result being its affinity to wind is diminished, and it cannot fly. No matter what we try, we can't get it to rise even the slightest bit. For such change to manifest in so few generations, I fear they are too unstable, flawed. With your permission, I will revert the creatures and recommend to the Bureau that the concept be revised. With its etheric balance leaning towards water, the Charybdis would indeed struggle to manipulate wind. Yet it is too early to conclude that it cannot fly. Having failed at first, it may simply have developed a fear. I shall transform and fly with it, helping it to manipulate wind until it finds its wings. What? You needn't go to such lengths. I cocked my head like I didn't know you could transform. This is news to me. Emetzelkus, you don't know, but of course not. Transformation is an art in which one manipulates a vast quantity of ether to construct another body around oneself. In practice, this allows one to assume any conceivable form, and thereby transcend the limits of one's flesh. Yet convenient though it may be, transforming it in the presence of others is considered vainglorious in the extreme, as uncouth and unseemly as running about robeless, shameful. Am I to understand you make a habit of this? Nothing of the sort. It's just that, when transformed, I can wield the wind and fly. It may seem excessive, but what is our shame next to the lives of these creatures? They deserve a chance, and we owe it to them to do all in our power. Be that as it may. Says Hythlodaeus. Yes, I believe I have a solution. Emetzelk, may I trouble you to move that Charybdis away from its fellows, somewhere out of sight? The Charybdis looks to him as he looks to it. Meanwhile, I'd like the rest of you to help me prepare. Prepare here? Sorry, I missed that last word. I may have missed the last word. What mischief are you scheming now? No mischief, I assure you. I would but spare you the need to report to your colleagues that Hermes committed an indiscretion. So have a little faith and run along. He gives little arms out, like, what? I trust you don't mind, he says to the female watcher. He speaks to the very blue, aquatic blue, non-flying Charybdis, and they walk away. And I speak to Hythlodaeus to continue. Emetzelk is out of sight. Good. Let's speak of the plan. It's a stroke of genius, really. We have Emetzelk train the Charybdis. We're all taken aback. Aside from being able to fly untransformed, he can readily see ether currents, and with his adept spellcraft he can also employ suitable wind magics to guide the creature along. While he is indeed capable of all you described, it is not his duty. I am loath to trouble him with it. Don't be. As I mentioned, it would also be for his sake. With that settled, let's begin at once. Yeah, no argument allowed, apparently. Mercy, I want you to go to Emetzelk. Tell him that you have a favor to ask. He will be disinclined to cooperate at first, but you mustn't be discouraged. With our friend, the trick is to be unflaggingly persistent. Off you go, now, and good luck. With the chat mode and say, use your keyboard software to enter any phrase command. I have a favor to ask. Okay. Let's pop this back up. He went to, like, the opposite. Well, if we are the exact northeast, quote-unquote, corner of this circle, what would you say? Like, when you're talking about a circle, obviously they're not corners, obviously, but if you picture true north, I mean, it's northeast, it's perfect northeast on a compass. And a compass is a circle, so whatever. But if you're to picture that north is, if we're talking radians, wait, no. If we're talking degrees, it's 45 degrees from north. And now we are negative 45 degrees from north, give or take. I'm being inexact, but yeah, whatever. Well, are your preparations for the scheme that is clearly not a scheme complete? I have a favor to ask. The person I played this game with tried to get her into it, an ex-girlfriend. Really hated that the game makes you do this shit. Like, why can't you just click on them? You know, why do you have to type in, say, this exact phrase, or, like, type out an emote? And I get it. It's dumb in a lot of ways, but whatever. Oh, no, you don't. I'm not lifting a finger. Ugh, I don't know what Hythlodaeus is up to, and I will not be made to know. I refuse. If Hythlodaeus is to be believed, relentless insistence may serve to wear down the ever-weary Emmett Silk. Please, Emmett Silk is what I have to say next. Stupid. Please, Emmett Silk. Cutscene. Again. Pointless.
No, no, no. You are not foisting this nonsense on me.
You're not foisting this nonsense on me. I can almost. It's nasally. I'm trying.
I'm given to understand you have the power to help the Charybdis, and should be quite willing to do so. And so I appeal to your better nature, most benevolent Emmett Selk. Please teach her to fly.
Or else Hermes will transform. Right now.
Now, there's no need to go quite that far. Altruism is its own reward, as I'm sure he would agree.
Oh, would he now? And who contrived to put me in this position, pray tell?
Nothing so devious. I merely suggested a possible course of action.
Please, Emmett Selk. Please.
I did not come all this way to play nursemaid to your creations. I thank you to remember this favor, and let it be the last.
She's happy. Hermes nods. Emmett raises a hand in the air and snaps his fingers, and a... Wow, what would you call this? A steed, for sure.
I will aid it once it is taken to the air. It falls to you to shepherd it skyward.
I believe it is horse-shaped, for the most part. And the head from, like, the base of the neck is, like, armored, and it has a unicorn horn, so it could be a unicorn. It did kind of seem to have the rainbowishness in its legs of a unicorn. I mean, look at it again. Hermes and... I forgot her name. It's been a couple days.
Well, let's relax and enjoy the spectacle, shall we?
They approach the glowing blue aquamarine Charybdis. Definitely not glowing, sorry, the steed is not glowing like a unicorn at all. It does have a horn. It has the tail of a lizard, but like the legs of a horse. I'm okay with that description.
You were wondering why Emmett Selk joined the convocation.
And what would be wings look like flowing robes on this horse thing? And it has like two flowing kind of, what are they called? Cloaks behind it on either side coming out the butt.
Truth be told, he wasn't the first choice for the office. I was, on the strength of my ability to see ether. But I declined the offer. For though my vision is exceptional, I am pedestrian in all other aspects. Worse even.
Worse than pedestrian.
Quite abysmal when it comes to manipulating ether, for example. Couldn't transform even if I had a mind to do so. What good is the ability to perceive a problem if one cannot act to address it?
One can point it out to others who might not be able to perceive it.
Emmett Selk has no such shortcomings. He excels in vision and manipulation both, the latter to an extraordinary degree. If there is a mage more powerful, I do not know of them.
I think Emmett Selk is the one that created the... Oh my god. The city that we found underneath the world that was like a recreation of the actual city where we actually met Hythlodaeus in the robed form where we couldn't really... Anyway. I think that was Emmett Silk.
Thus did I recommend him for the office in my stead. And I wasn't the only one. Far from it. Countless others vouched for his skill and character. People the world over, to whom he had previously lent a helping hand. Oh, how surprised he was. Claimed he hadn't done anything remarkable for anyone. Modest to a fault. He deserved every bit of acclaim he received. Yet he may well have gone unappreciated were it not for a mutual friend. A singular soul who can't help but involve herself in the business of others. Where she walks, excitement is certain to follow. Her antics irritate Emmett Selk to no end. But much of his grumbling stems from genuine concern. When our friend calls, he never fails to answer and lend his talents. And in the course of doing so, he himself came to be recognized and respected by those around him.
By the way, the water, the shiny neon water-colored lizard thing is now flying, seemingly without any real problems.
They are truly remarkable individuals, and I'm proud to call them friends. To help them realize their dreams. This will be my greatest contribution to our world. And when they have fulfilled their respective purposes, so too shall I have fulfilled mine. And together we may return to the star. Look at me, spilling my innermost secrets. I can't seem to help it with you.
We became pretty good friends in a different time.
I can only assume it is due to the color of your soul.
Reality.
I just don't understand how you can be so alike and yet so different.
Well done, my pet. Well done!
Charybdis, that's what they're called. It does a few kind of like horizontal circles in the air, as if like a snake chasing its tail, and then...
Ah, yes. I dare say the Charybdis will be fine here on.
gives like a roar of happiness.
Why don't you go and signal to Emmett Selk? Let him know that his arduous task is at an end.
I'm pretty sure he can figure it out if he's as brilliant and wonderful as you say, but okay. Don't deign to tell me when I'm done with a task. Just kidding. I don't know. I don't know what he's going to say. We have a wave to Emmett Silk. Okay. Can I even... I can't target him. Oh. Emerging from his reverie, Emmett Silk notices you and begins to descend with the Charybdis. Cutscene. Hopefully they continue talking, so I don't have to, but I have a feeling they're not going to. Okay, I'm wrong often, but not this time. I have no words to express my gratitude. Thanks to you, the Charybdis has learned to fly. That was Hermes. And Mercy and I could relax and have a pleasant chat. I'm sure you did. The creature needed some small assistance at first, but soon it was flying more or less on its own. I doubt you will need to repeat the lesson. That was truly impressive. The female, I think it's the female observer coming up on us. I witnessed it all from afar. The Charybdis flies. It's probably way too high pitched for anyway. Indeed, with this, we've proven that even a creature with skewed etheric balance is capable of flight. Though we helped it to achieve this, the Charybdis is a herd animal. They may well aid their struggling kin in like fashion if and when the need arises. Keeping this in mind, I bid you continue observing them. If that is what you want. This might be a dude, I don't fucking know. But if I may say so, rather than hoping an idealistic possibility comes to pass, would it not be simpler to have the concept adjusted? That way, we could guarantee that anomalies such as the specimen are never born in the first place. These creatures are already here. We will spare no effort in giving them a chance to survive. As you wish, Chief. As you wish. She wanted to cull creatures of these species that aren't perfect. Hermes, says Medion. I'm fine. Don't worry. She can sense. Well, that concludes all of my present tasks. Let us return to Anagnorisis for now. I will. If I get that right the first time on any of these, somebody owes me like a cookie. Although I don't want it. Somebody owes me a fajita. When I was doing my US road trips, I was trying to figure out what would be the best, like, protein rich, veggie rich, but like not a lot of carbs or no carbs. Either way is preferable. Or, you know, I found out that rice isn't as bad as, but like US rice has its problems because of the way we enrich it, and anything that says enriched, be very wary. Like it usually means they add folic acid. They either add folic acid, which doesn't digest in the human body the same as folate, which is natural, does, or it's the vice versa. I can't remember which is which, but enriched does not actually mean a good thing. But I found out that fajitas from, in general, Mexican restaurants were usually well priced. And after a day, like I would start driving in the morning pretty early. I would have just like the bare minimum of food throughout the day until I generally stopped at my next destination and found a Mexican restaurant and ordered a fajita plate. And usually I could get a pretty good fajita plate that was a mixture of chicken, steak, and shrimp or other seafood. Oh my god. So good. And like they would bring tortillas, and I would tell them usually beforehand, like no tortillas. I don't need any carbs, nothing like that. Just the veggies and the meat. And anyway, very good in my opinion. As long as you're done driving, or like if you can trust your stomach to hold out for like if you have it for lunch and you hold out for another 6 hours without needing pit stops for bathroom breaks, then cool. But I can't trust my stomach, so I have to eat very, very little in the beginning of the day and pretty much all the way through dinner. And even then, I could have close calls that were just way too close in some cases. But anyway, we'll talk to Emmett Silk to end the quest. What? Want to apologize for forcing me to help, do you? Save your breath. You didn't force me to do anything. I merely chose the most expeditious way to have done with an impediment to our business. Hit the Deus kind of giggles a little bit. The greatest contribution is complete. This video is complete. I'll see you next time.